Relationships are like an unknown road or path that you travel not knowing where the journey might take you, or in some cases where it might end. In my case, it's the latter. 3 weeks ago, I woke up as usual, ready to start my day with a rich cup of coffee and a hot shower. However, this morning I felt a sense of emptiness that gnawed at my soul. I dismissed it as just another day of not wanting to drag myself through another routine day at the office. It was a picturesque flower-filled day of spring with the azaleas in full bloom and songbirds singing outside my window. I sipped my coffee and went through a mental checklist of the things I had to get done as I gazed out the window at the butterflies dancing about in the sunlight. I put my coffee down in the kitchen and was heading to the bathroom when I saw the note on the nightstand by your picture that just said, "I'm sorry." Nothing more, just those two lonely words. I stood frozen as 1,000 thoughts raced through my mind. I didn't understand what was going on. We had been dating for almost a year and living together the last 6 months. I never once felt like anything was wrong. I went through the house and noticed everything he had was gone. I immediately picked up my phone and dialed his number, and it just rang and never went to voicemail. I called his work and they said he picked up his final paycheck yesterday. I tried to look him up on his social media accounts and found that I was blocked. I tried my best to understand what went wrong and could not come up with anything. The last time I saw him was when we went to bed the night before and just assumed he left for work as usual. I was confused and heart-stricken as I pondered why he would just leave this way without an explanation. We had met through a mutual friend and hit it off instantly. He was charming and witty and loved to dance. We would hang out at this quaint country bar called the County Line. It was in a small town 30 miles outside Nashville where I grew up. Every Friday and Saturday night you could guarantee to see the same crowd of people hanging out near the dance floor, waiting on their favorite song to join in the fun of line dancing. The local DJ was great at selecting songs to really get people going. The other nights of the week you could sit back and enjoy a cold beer while listening to the jukebox in the corner. It always carried a great selection of the best of country music, old and new. It was on these nights we would meet after work and he would play our favorite song on the jukebox and we would slow dance the night away. After about 6 months of dating, we decided to move in together. I had inherited a small house from my uncle and it was within walking distance to my work and the county line. He worked in a body shop about 10 minutes away, so it all worked out well. I was just recently thinking how well things were going and how nice it was to be in a steady relationship. I still had a few single friends that would trade places with me in a heartbeat. However, in hindsight, I have to wonder if it were just me that felt that comfortable or maybe a little too complacent. So fast forward and 3 weeks later I find myself sitting at the bar. A pity party for one. I am halfway through a glass of Kentucky whiskey and still trying to wrap myself around where it all went wrong. My friends are here to try and cheer me up, but nothing can shake my current mood. I was angry and wanted answers. Last week I was sitting here just hoping no one would play our song on the jukebox, and if someone did I would break down in tears. However, tonight is different. If anyone plays that dang song, I just may go over there and bump the jukebox to make sure the record gets good and scratched so they have to remove it from the selection. I mean, who leaves with just a note that says I'm sorry? Sorry for what? Being a cowardly jerk to not tell me to my face why you are leaving? And not just me but your job and friends too? At that thought I grabbed my glass of whiskey and downed the glass and asked the bartender for another. I was fuming. If he walked in I would scratch his eyes out and put water in the gas tank of his truck. I downed the second glass of whiskey and slammed the glass on the counter, and that was the last thing I remember. The next day I woke up and felt like roadkill. I stumbled to the kitchen and grabbed a glass of water to wash the nasty stale taste of whiskey out my mouth. My friend called and said, "Wow, you really tied one on." She said after my second glass of whiskey I was retching in the bathroom and she helped me stumble home. I looked at the clock and it was 11 in the morning and told myself I needed to get it together. My mirrored reflection was a fright. I had bloodshot raccoon eyes, smeared lipstick, and my hair was a mess and had chunks in it that I hoped wasn't vomit. I felt as bad as I looked. I was still in my clothes from the night before and needed a shower. I showered and threw my clothes in the wash and sat down in my living room and reflected over the last few weeks. I just sat there walking down memory lane trying to make sense of it all. The morning turned to late afternoon as the sun began setting and I drifted off to a much-needed deep sleep. They say time heals all wounds, and that may be true, but they don't tell you about the scars some wounds can leave. This one definitely hurt, and I knew I would need some time to put myself out there again. In retrospect, I felt that he just wasn't ready to take that final step of commitment. I knew in my heart at the time that I was ready, but apparently that is not how he felt, and he didn't have the nerve to be upfront and honest with me. Sure, I would have appreciated it if he just came out and told me to give me some closure, but for whatever reason he chose not to and probably thought it was easier to just walk away. It's been 6 months now and I still hang out with my friends at the county line. We laugh, dance, reminisce, and have a few drinks. I find myself still thinking about him from time to time, especially when our song comes on. The song still pulls at my emotions, but the pain and the hurt has passed and I am slowly becoming my old self again. I know in my heart that I will find the one I am meant to be with, and we can travel down that road of never-ending happiness. Until that time comes, I am content being a country girl hanging out with my friends in our small corner of the world. I hope you enjoyed my story. It is inspired by a song that is special to me and always casts a spell when I hear it. It gently takes me back to another place and time, and for a brief moment suspends reality and floods me with fond memories. Can you guess the song behind the inspiration of my story? If you like this story, it is based on a song called Please Mr. Please by Olivia Newton-John. It was released in June of 1975 and was the second single from her album titled Have You Never Been Mellow? The song reached the top 10 on the Billboard charts, peaking at number 3 and reaching number 5 on the country charts. The song's enduring popularity is a testament to Olivia Newton-John's talent for her heartfelt and emotional connection with the lyrics. If you have never heard the song, then I recommend you look it up on YouTube and watch a live version to really appreciate the feelings it conveys. Please discuss in the comments below any memories you have of the song. If you are listening to it for the first time, then feel free to let us know what you think. I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to my channel for more song-inspired stories. Until then, I hope you find that special song that speaks to your heart and takes you away to an endearing memory.